are going to get our hands dirty with coding. So are you ready to start coding solo website? Okay, in this lecture we will create basic HTML5 page structure for solo website. Before I start coding, let me first show you a basic structure of HTML5 page. First, we have the document type declaration or doc type. This is simply a way to tell the browser what type of document it is looking at. In the case of HTML files, it means the specific version and flavor of HTML. The doc type should always be the first item at the top of any HTML file. This doc type declaration helps the browser to display a web page correctly. This document type declaration defines that the document type is HTML5. Then the very first element in any web page is HTML tag. The text inside HTML opening and closing tags is described as HTML document. After that, you will see two other elements, head and body element. The head element provides information about web page, for example, title of the web page and meta tags. The body element describes the visual page content like headings, paragraphs, links, images, and etc. Well, I just wanted to give you an idea of basic HTML5 page structure before any actual coding. And we will start our coding with this basic HTML5 page structure for solo website. Okay, let us start coding together. I'm going to start writing HTML markup for solo website inside this index.html file. I will close other files because I don't need them right now, and I will only focus on index.html file. As I said before, the very first thing you will see in HTML file is doc type declaration. I'm going to write doc type declaration. This doc type declaration is not an HTML tag. It is basically an instruction to the web browser about the HTML language version used in a web page. We are going to build this project with HTML5, so we will simply write HTML right after the doc type, which will make this web page HTML5 document. This declaration goes at the top of every HTML5 page, and this means this page is written in HTML5. Next up in any HTML document is the HTML element. I am going to write the HTML element with its opening and closing tags. As you can see, the brackets code editor automatically added the closing tag for me. The HTML is the root element of an HTML page, or you can say the HTML element represents the root of a web document. You can also set the language attribute for your HTML page. I am going to add the language attribute for HTML tag, and the language attribute is lang, which means language, and the value for this language attribute is en, which means English. This language attribute helps search engines and browsers to know about language used in a web page. Inside this HTML element, I am going to write two important elements. The first element is the head element. All the meta information about the document will go inside this head element. Meta information is a data about HTML document. Metadata is not displayed. Metadata typically define the document title, character set, styles, links, scripts, and other meta information. The second important element is body element. I am going to write the body element. The body element will contain all the visible page content. I mean, it will contain all the content of an HTML document such as text, hyperlinks, images, tables, list, headings, and etc. Let us write the very first element inside the body element. I'll write the h1 element with its opening and closing tag, and inside this tag I'll simply add a welcome message. Now let me open this index.html file inside the web browser for the very first time so we can see the result inside the web browser. I'll click on this live preview icon, or you can click on this open in browser icon, but I'll prefer to go with live preview feature. So this is the result inside the web browser. Well done. I think we made our first basic website. I'll go ahead and I'll save this index.html file. In this lecture, we created the basic HTML5 structure, and as I said earlier, we will take baby steps, and I think we are taking the baby steps towards our final project, right? I'll see you in next class. Thanks.